A lot at stake this weekend in a rematch in Oxford. Does the Tulane Green Wave roll in to Oxford, Mississippi and pull off an upset? Or does Ole Miss keep rolling along as the first year of the Pete Golding era begins in the college football playoff? The Ole Miss Rebels looking to finish what they started without Lane Kiffin taking on the Tulane Green Wave. Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Southern Sports Scene here on YouTube, whether you're watching us on X, whatever it is, guys. Thank you guys for tuning on in. Every live show is brought to you by our good friends at FrostBuddy. Going over to frostbuddy.com. Use our promo code SSS15 to get yourself 15% off of your first purchase on all things cups, coffee mugs, tumblers, whatever it is. Also going over to Chike Nutrition. Get the best coffee available on the market. 20 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and 1 gram of fat. The best source of protein for the new year. The holiday season is fast approaching. It'll be coming and going. 6 more days until Christmas at the time of recording. And you guys need to take advantage of the deal that's going on. 10% off when you use the link below. Is this a better Tulane team compared to what we saw earlier in the season when they played Ole Miss? I have no idea. Do I think they look good against North Texas? Yes, I do. Sure as hell do. But I am also very skeptical. Why am I very skeptical? I think that early on, that Tulane team looked vulnerable. They got up 31-7, and they allowed for UNT to get back into the football game. And by the way, they had opportunities to get off the field and get their offense to football right back. They've got to start hot. Tulane is going to have to score early and get the crowd out of the football game. If they're able to do that, they have a chance at making this a close one. Retzlaff is going to have to go to the air. We didn't see it in the American title game against UNT, but we've seen it in the regular season. We've seen him be efficient, and we've seen him go away from the run game for the last 3 games against FAU, Temple, and Charlotte. He hasn't really had to run the football because he's been able to go to the air and he's been able to let his receivers do the work for him. That's a great thing when you have the type of athletes that you have on the field. When you talk about guys like Anthony Brown Stephens, that's going to have to make some big throws and make some big catches tonight. Shaz Preston, who's going to have to make some big catches. Amari Hayes, your 3 leading receivers, all are going to have to be active in that football game. Knowing that you don't have the depth at receiver, you don't have these guys that can really be game changers compared to what Ole Miss has, you're going to have to take what the defense gives you. If you are given an opportunity to strike down the field, you take advantage of it, especially if you can create turnovers, which Tulane has done throughout the season. Jake Retzlaff hasn't gotten sacked much, 8 sacks all year long. Ole Miss's rushing offense has struggled at times this year, but they have gotten better as the season has progressed. Ole Miss is going to have to open it up. And let me just tell you, they're pissed off. There's going to be a lot of pissed off Ole Miss fans in Oxford tomorrow. You think that they're hot? You better be looking at them when they go play that Tulane team. They're going to want to take it out on them. You know, that's a really good offense that they're playing. That's what Pete Golding said. And Trinidad Chambliss is going to have to play the game of his life. He knows what's going to happen. There's been talks about, he's going to transfer to LSU. Guys, put that ish to bed right now. because the number one thing that's going to matter is the game that's right in front of him. And if he doesn't play his best, Tulane is going to take advantage of it. Their defensive line can get after dudes. Pretty damn good against the run. John Summerall, how heavy is that heart? Lost his father earlier today. God bless him, and we've been praying for his family. Y'all continue to say prayers for the Summerall family. Obviously, this is going to be a tough test for him with that on his mind. How does this affect him going into tomorrow's game? I don't think it should affect him at all. And he's pretty much working two jobs. He got hired to coach Florida, but he has to finish the job. He's going to have to make some big plays. You know, Retzlaff has done really good, but you also got to remember they've got another great athlete in Jamari McClure. Jamari McClure is going to have a flash of is like lightning in a bottle at times. His numbers, they look pretty mediocre at times. 610 yards rushing or 456 yards rushing. But by the way, majority of his carries and majority of his rushing yards have come in the last 4 games. He's really turned it on. And no, he is not the type of back that Mekhi Hughes was. He just isn't. What he is, though, is a guy that's going to be reliable in the red zone, a guy that when you get to the opposite side of the 50, he's going to hear his number called and he's going to want to deliver. But that's a physical team that both of these teams are going to have to play. It's going to be a physical football game. Line is 17.5 to Ole Miss. I'll tell you what, though. Let's see what happens if Ole Miss or Tulane is able to strike early. I don't know that they do, though. I think that this is one of those games where Ole Miss is just pissed off. Ole Miss is extremely, extremely pissed off. Kewan Lacey is going to have himself a football game. We haven't even hardly talked about Kewan Lacey this week. Kewan Lacey has been the reason why they're there in this position. Over 1,000 yards rushing the football, and all the talk has been about Trinidad Chambliss. Granted, Chambliss should. But guys, Kewan Lacey has been a big, big factor this year. His lowest rushing total was 68 yards against Tulane. I don't think he has that. Going to run for a buck for over 100. I think Tulane takes advantage, or Ole Miss takes advantage of what Tulane is going to bring them. I think they get it on the ground early. I think they give them a lot of different multiple formations that Tulane hasn't really prepared much for. I think Ole Miss keeps this one. I'll tell you what, I think Tulane is able to cover barely. I think they make it a 14-point game, and I think they keep it close up until the second half. Tulane is much better than they've played Ole Miss on earlier in the year, and I think Ole Miss is going to kind of struggle a little bit, like I mentioned earlier, but give me Tulane plus 17.5 to cover this one. We're going to be in for an interesting football game on Saturday. Y'all make sure y'all hit the comment section. Tell me what you guys think about this weekend's game. We're in for a very fun one this weekend. An exciting weekend of college football playoff action. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe button down below. Y'all make sure you follow us on X at Lucas Hill SEC. Also follow Inside Gamecocks for all of our Gamecocks news. Y'all have a great rest of the week, man, and we will see you tomorrow.